Tomb Raider Anniversary is a reimagining, from the ground up of Tomb Raider 1.
Well, I guess with the 10-year anniversary being now, it just seemed like the time was right. And we had all this technology from Legend that was ready to go, and it just seemed like things coming together, and the timing was just right.
The story is the same really as Tomb Raider 1. When we first started the project, we kind of went back and looked at all the cinematics and played through the game lots and lots, you know. And the story kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So Toby Gard was here, and he kind of talked us through it all. And the goal is to fill in the gaps and to sort of flesh out the story into to make it more of a standalone story.
The approach we took was to start from the memorable moments and try and recreate those, and to really try and make them live up to people's memories of what that actually was, because I think an experience a lot of us had when we went back and looked at the original game was just how small some of the areas were. They weren't as big as I remembered, they weren't as grand as I remembered, and everything was a lot more stark, and obviously 10 years of technology is a lot of progress.
I think the absence of music and sound of most kinds in Tomb Raider 1 was, partially because it was an old game, but also it really, people made that into an aesthetic. They derived the aesthetic from it, right? It made them feel more isolated and more alone. So you just hear sort of drips and small noises of just the ambience, and then occasionally themes would start up with combat and stuff. So we're trying to have a balance between that ambient quiet and that is so evocative of the isolation and exploration feel that we want to get across, and sort of modernizing the game with music.
Well, the animals were the primary enemies in Tomb Raider 1, and we've stayed true to that. But the one thing about the animals in Tomb Raider 1 is that they're not particularly scary. They're a little bit primitive. Obviously it's 10 years old. So our primary focus was to make them look as threatening and dangerous as we possibly could. I know some people are often a little queasy about killing cuddly animals, so we made them as not cuddly as we possibly could and tried to make them feel much more like a tangible threat. All of the enemies from Tomb Raider 1 will be in this game in one form or another.
Tomb Raider Anniversary is coming out spring 2007 on PS2, PSP, and PC.